the Xbox 360 turns 18 this year. It's hard to believe that the length of an entire childhood has been and gone since it was released. And if you're also of that age group that was in your tweens when it came out, well, the 360 has been around for about 2/3 of your life. And it really says a lot about how good this controller was 2 decades ago that so little has changed about its successors today. This controller here is one of the originals, so it's about time we showed it some love. To take apart a 360 controller, you'll need a Torx T8 screwdriver, and all of its housing screws are on the rear. There's one hidden beneath the sneaky barcode sticker, so either pierce it or peel it back like I have. Then you can snap the back off and get inside. You can apply a lot of force to the sides here, so don't worry about breaking anything just yet. This one looks like it's been subjected to some serious abuse and spillages over the years, which has rendered some of the buttons pretty much unusable, so it needs a deep clean and definitely a couple new thumbsticks. If you want to take off the D-pad entirely, there's 2 screws holding it together. I used the Phillips Head 00 driver to get these out. A lot of dirt gathers around the edge of the D-pad, so it's worth doing, and I want to go the extra mile with this one. And then you can pop out all the buttons so you can properly clean the crevices later on. The main reason I wanted to start making these videos is because I see a lot of electronics that people are on the verge of throwing away, and in most cases you just don't need to. This controller is one of those that you'd often see in some kind of salvage lot or a dumpster, because if you didn't know you could take it apart this easily, you just assume by the condition that it's wrecked and worthless. Also, I'm sure one day people will look for information like this when they're exploring retro games and consoles, kind of like the same way I look at a PS1. That's a weird thought, and we're probably not far away from that, to be honest. I remember watching the console wars on Techno Buffalo, and it was the first YouTube video I watched in HD. That was 14 years ago now. Anyway, on with the disassembly. So you can take the triggers off, but they're a bit fiddly, and I think I can get all the dirt off with some cotton swabs and rubbing alcohol, so I'm just going to leave them on. And now I'm going to wash all the plastics with some soapy water and a toothbrush, and I will show you the results. Wow! You'd barely believe it's the same thing I just took apart a minute ago. I don't know how many people will be able to relate to this, but I get really sentimental about things like this, especially things that are a big part of my childhood for such a long time. So it's such an amazing feeling to see this brought back from the brink to looking almost as it did when it was brand new all those years ago. And it brings back memories of like playing Forza 3 with my friends after school, or like the summer holiday party chats playing Call of Duty that lasted until 4 AM. I'm sure my parents loved that. And I hope that this inspires someone else to do the same thing and maybe feel the same way too. And importantly, having the knowledge and confidence to do this with your own electronics opens so many doors and keeps so much out of landfill. And that's what I'm really in this for. That's why I started this business. Well, I hope you found this helpful, and if you want to see more like this, get notified because there's plenty more where this came from.